This economy is so bad, you'll be sitting here thinking you're bad with money, and all you did was buy food. That's it.
You can't even ride around and clear your mind no more. Your gas tank gonna be clear before your mind is.
A pilot got on here and said, hey, it's hard for me to find a job. A pilot.
We get paid twice as much or even 3 times as much as our parents and grandparents made, and we don't own half of the things that they own.
When I go on Facebook Marketplace and people are reselling things at cost. At cost.
Scams have turned from, oh, you won the lottery, oh, you won a free cruise trip, oh, you won a free car, to remote job paying $20 an hour.
There's no more free trial period for subscription services like Netflix. I just signed up for Netflix recently.
It seemed like the landlords, the utility companies, and the streaming services is all jumping us at one time, and we is losing.
I work at a dental office, and people keep mass canceling their appointments because everyone keeps losing their insurance coverage.
Guys, this is bad. The youth is not fantasizing about having houses. The youth is fantasizing about having shitty one-bedroom apartments.
Hey YouTube, everywhere online people are talking about everything costs too much. Paychecks don't stretch far enough, and somehow surviving adulthood started feeling harder than anyone expected. So while the TikToks play, I want to talk about how this growing feeling that the economy is asking people to do more with less, and then acting surprised when everyone's frustrated. Because even as someone who's not fully an adult, it's hard to not notice that a lot of people aren't struggling because they failed. They're struggling because the system feels brutally expensive.
I'm 32 years old, right? So I'm a millennial, and I hate when people that are older than me tell me, hey, you gotta save money. And I'm just like, for fucking what? Like, what is, at this point, what is the fuck? I'm gonna enjoy my shit. They'll tell you shit like, you gotta have money for an emergency. Bitch, every single day is an emergency. Yesterday was an emergency, today's an emergency, tomorrow's, I live in the emergency. But like, at this point, fuck saving. Like, nothing's going down in price. Like, back in the day, you can get a fucking nice house for like $350,000. You ain't finding a nice house for $350,000. You could find a fixer-upper for like $1 million plus. And your friend that's trying to be a real estate agent is telling you, there's never been a better time to buy. Fuck y'all too, man. If you didn't come from money, like if your family doesn't have money, everybody right now is just trying to figure out a way to make money work for them. You know at least 6 people in a pyramid scheme right now. There's people still buying crypto like, this is gonna take off. I just bought into Gullible coin and I heard that shit's gonna skyrocket. Or another one that I like is like, put your money in a high yield savings account. What's spare money? Spare money? Or am I gonna put that extra fucking grand in a high yield savings account and make $10 a year, build a fucking empire? Just fucking spend it, dude. It's $20 to get a bowl at Chipotle now. And the best is parents, because I didn't know that you can get gaslit so hard by parents. Like, if you ever have a problem and your parents don't have money and you're like, yo, like, I need some fucking help. And they're like, I don't know what to tell you, man. You got to take care of your responsibilities. You're talking to your responsibility. You understand that? I didn't want to fucking be here. You wanted to blow a load inside of some lady raw dog. I didn't fucking ask for this. So if you feel like you're behind in the world, don't worry. It's just a bunch of people in crippling credit card debt, people that have family money, and fucking escorts. Chill, baby, you're fine. But the saving shit is nonsense. Why? So my kids can afford to fill their tank up when gas hits $18 a gallon? Don't worry, your dad's saved up for this day. Been putting money away since 2021. What a fucking time.
Just went grocery shopping. Had to take out a second mortgage. Toilet paper was $40. Can't even afford to poop. Which sucks, because I'm shitting on these bitches. This is why I say, eat out. Everyone's like, oh no, you gotta cook at home. Fuck off, Tua. You fucking dumb shit. You don't know what you're talking about. Someone's always gonna make it better. It's not even freaking cheaper to cook at home anymore. You go to the grocery store and they freaking ring it up and they go 6,000. What the hell? I remember when I was a kid, everybody like would always make jokes like, oh, they're on food stamps. Well, fuck me. I'd like to be on them. Are you kidding me? With these freaking prices? I don't really care though. I mean, I'm a trust fund kid. I have tons of money. But still, like, I feel bad for you guys, you know?
I'm dead. Not literally. But something in me has died. The spark I had, the will to try, lost somewhere along the way. Yeah. I wake up, but it feels pointless. Like I'm just passing time. Just passing through. Everything's dull. And I can't remember what feeling alive meant. I'm dead, not literally, but I feel buried all the same.
One thing that keeps coming up is that people aren't just having trouble buying extra stuff. They're having trouble affording normal life while saving literally anything at the same time. Rent is high, groceries are high, insurance is high, gas is high, and after all that, people are supposed to just magically build an emergency fund too. That's the part that feels impossible for a lot of people. Everyone says save your money like it's simple advice, but save what exactly when most of your paycheck already has to go somewhere before you even get it? And I think that's what a lot of people are starting to notice right now. Not necessarily that people want luxury lifestyles, but that people want enough breathing room to plan ahead. It's hard to build a future when staying afloat. Even from the outside looking in, you can understand why people feel drained by that. Because if working full-time barely covers today, how are we supposed to even prepare for tomorrow?
Y'all wait until we became adults for all this shit to goddamn happen? Y'all wait until I became an adult to bump gas up $4, nigga. Y'all wait until I become an adult. Buy soap, pack of tissue, deodorant. $40 fucking $50, nigga. I can't even eat healthy without it costing me tattoo money. Food is the new bill. Gas is the new bill. And I pray to God, nothing never go wrong with my car, nigga. Y'all wait until we became the adults to start doing this dumbass shit, man. Like, and a lot of people my age really do be masking that shit, cause, boy, I know, boy. I just know. I ain't saying every adult my age going through this shit, but most of them are. Nigga, y'all wait till we become the adults to be like, you know what? We hiring, but we not hiring. Like, we hiring, but like, we not hiring type shit. Man.
This is not rhetorical, I'm being so serious. If the price of everything keeps going up, and our salaries keep staying the same, what's gonna happen?
We're actually getting incredibly close to that point. We are expeditiously close to the point where we will see the rate of change of inflation supersede the average growth in wages. Now, the jobs report and the jobs report numbers, including unemployment, usually come out on the first Friday of the month. But one of the, I think, more overlooked things about jobs report numbers is the fact that we measure and report on how much wages are increasing. And if we look at the report that was released on Friday from April of 2026, we find that average real weekly earnings for US employees rose by about 3.6% year over year, which in a vacuum sounds great, right? Our wages are generally increasing, except it's very important, as this creator mentions, to look at that in the context of how much inflation has been increasing. Now, we actually have two metrics in economics about how we choose to measure inflation. We can use either the CPI or the PCE. Each of those measure different things, and they're good for different things that I'm happy to talk about in another video. But if we look at those two inflation metrics, what we find is that for the CPI, that has been increasing by about 3.3% year over year. And the PCE was found in March of 2026 to increase by about 3.5% year over year. As you can see, 3.6%, the amount that our wages have been increasing year over year, and 3.3 to 3.5%, which is how much inflation has been increasing year over year, is getting very close to that crossover point. And when that crossover point happens, there are a lot of concerns that economists have, both in the short run as well as in the long run. Now, in the immediate short run, what happens when inflation is superseding wage growth? It means that consumers have reduced purchasing power, right? They are not able to maintain the cost of living that they once did if the prices of the goods they used to be able to afford are becoming more and more out of reach because their wages aren't keeping up. This can lead to something known as the wage price spiral, which we worry about in economics. Essentially, what it means is that consumers seeing decreases to their purchasing power demand higher wages in order to keep up with those costs, which then lead companies to then increase prices further, which can exacerbate inflation if not kept under control. Another thing we worry about when this happens is increasing consumer debt, right? People taking money out of their savings in order to maintain the same living standards that they did before inflation superseded wage growth. As I've talked about in other videos, we are already seeing signs that this is happening with people having rising credit card debt. In fact, the amount of credit card debt defaults that we've seen in the last year is reaching the same level that it did in 2008. Now, I've said this before, but inflation in and of itself, if it is controlled, is not inherently a bad thing if wages are able to keep up with it. The major concern we have as economists is what we are potentially seeing in the next several months, where there is a decline in the purchasing power of consumers, which would negatively affect economic growth. Unfortunately, until we are able to have a government or an administration that is able to acknowledge that this is a problem and is taking steps to address it, we are kind of in this position where we have to wait and see what ends up happening here. That is my suggestion as an economist. As my suggestion as a human being, I would take efforts to invest in your community, to invest in yourselves, to reach out and ask for help. I can only hope that videos like this help raise awareness about the economic reality we are living, as well as influence you to take steps to urge your people in government to do something, because they ultimately have the power to influence economic policy one way or the other. And for now, that's all I got. As always, if you have any questions, let me know.
A lot of people grew up hearing the same formula: work hard, stay responsible, make smart choices, and eventually everything will work out. But what happens when people actually try doing that and still feel financially stuck? That's where a lot of the frustration comes from. You can budget carefully, work long hours, avoid unnecessary spending, and still feel like one unexpected expense could completely throw off your month. And I'm not going to act like I fully know what it's like paying rent or managing bills, because I don't. But I do understand why people feel disappointed. Adulthood was sold to a lot of people as hard work leading to stability, not hard work leading towards financial anxiety. When effort and reward stop feeling connected, people start questioning the whole system, and honestly, it's not hard to see why the conversation is getting louder.
Oh, Luke, why's your generation so angry? I don't know, you entitled boomer fuck. Could it be everything? We were told that if you go to school and you work real hard and you get a nice degree and you obey the laws, you'll get a nice job, and then things in life will pretty well work out for you. Imagine our surprise at finding out that you rat motherfuckers lied. We might end up on the hook for $1 billion in taxes to pay for a goddamn ballroom, while half of us will never own a home. We watched Jeff Bezos spend $10 million to sponsor the Met Gala, while our friends that work at Amazon because there's no other fucking jobs have to piss in bottles because there's no time for a bathroom break. We watch Elon Musk make $10,000 fucking dollars a second. I did the math, Cletus, while being told that $7.75 an hour in minimum wage is enough, and we just need to stop buying those $10 coffees. $7.75 an hour doesn't even buy the gas to get to work, because you boomer pricks elected a president that starts a fucking war, so minimum wage is worth about as much as shitting in our hands and clapping. Those degrees that you pushed us to get aren't deemed professional by this administration, so the only loans you can get to afford to go to fucking school are as predatory as the president that you motherfuckers elected. And then once you got that goddamn degree, the new grad jobs want 3 to 5 years of work experience. And you wonder why we're mad. Go sit on a cactus and choke on a football, you entitled boomer fucks.
This economy, as somebody in my early 20s, is making it almost embarrassing to be maturing the way that I am. It's like there's this dissonance between your situational condition and not evolving at the same rate as your maturity level, as your brain. And it's almost embarrassing. Like, I feel a mental metamorphosis of my mind and my brain changing and me becoming mature and me becoming an adult. But it's like I cannot dive headfirst into this. I can't dive headfirst in finding my identity because I can't afford to have my own space. I can't go out and see what makes me happy because I can't afford to go see it. Like, I'm still quite young, obviously, but already I feel like I am made for more than waiting tables. Now, not years from now, but now. You know, I want to experience a beautiful, wonderful, healthy, good relationship, but I don't want to grandfather someone else's issues into my own and vice versa as well. I don't want this, but my parents were having kids by the time that they were my age, and the fact that this was a possibility to them makes me extremely unhappy. Society progresses and norms progress, and now we don't have kids quite as young, and that's a good thing, but what are we left to do about it? What are we left to do with our early 20s that we have more freedom because we've decided that having kids early is probably not the best thing? What am I doing with that time? Nothing. I'm doing nothing with it because I can't afford to do anything.
In this time and age, if you call anyone broke, you're just corny. Because anytime I see anybody with a car and it's like a 2007, like whatever, and people are like, you can't get a newer car, I'm jealous of that person because most likely, they're not making car payments. I'm jealous if you're not making car payments. In this economy, how are you not broke? And I know there are people who are millionaires. I'm not, whatever. But like overall, like the average day person, you work an average job and you calling someone else broke who works an average job makes no sense. Talking about, well, bitch, you work at McDonald's. Fuck. Don't you work at Target? I don't know. Like, why are you being mean to like people who work in the same facet of, it's both customer service? Like, I don't know. I never understood that. Because like, okay, girl, like, she's making 16, you're making 17. Woo. Like, we're all wage slaves, babe. All of us. So just because you're mad calling someone else broke is, I don't know. I feel like that shit is corny. And I feel like this is the wrong time to be calling anyone broke. Especially if y'all are both working minimum wage jobs. I work a minimum wage job. I'm not shading nobody that does. I'm just saying when people do, it's I don't know. It's corny.
So a dream of mine, just like everyone else, is to own a house. Bro, that shit's never gonna happen. That shit is never gonna happen for me, or for most people, honestly. And I've always wanted to have my own man cave, go downstairs where all my gaming shit is and have everything the way I wanted it. Go outside on my porch and smoke a doobie, Dude, that sounds like the life, bro. And I wouldn't hate working if that was my life. But I can't afford that shit, bro. Most people can't. And I honestly, and the thing is that I could afford to rent a house, but I mean, like, that's like half of my dream, bro. I want to own a house, bro. I don't want to rent, but that's where I have to do it. If I want my own house, I have to rent a house, bro. And for example, there's a house right next to where I live. It's a foreclosed house. And usually foreclosed is on the cheaper side, and there's a lot of shitty, there's a lot of problems with it most of the time. And they redid some of the house, and from what I found, it is still $200,000 in a shitty neighborhood, bro. Like, dude, I saw the sign go up, and I was like immediately excited, bro. I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna get my realtor, we're gonna look at it. $200,000 for a 2-bedroom, 1 bath. $200,000, bro. Like, what the fuck? I want to smoke a doobie on a porch. I want my own gaming setup on the basement or in a different room, bro. I want my own space, dog. I don't want to live in any more apartments anymore, bro. I am 25 years old. I don't want to live in any more apartments. That shit sucks. Dude, like, I don't even know how to feel anymore, bro. Like, I've gone through all the stages. Like anger, sadness, hopefulness, depression, all of it. I've gone through all of it, bro. And now it's just numbness because it's never going to happen for me. The only possible way that I could afford a house, to actually own a house one day, is if I consistently work 2 to 3 jobs. And then but if I do that, I can't even smoke a doobie on the porch or play my games because I'm too busy working. So it's either or, bro. I can't have both like it used to be back in the day. It's either or. And I don't know, bro. I don't know.
For Gen Z, there's also this weird feeling of watching all this happen while getting closer to entering that same reality ourselves. You hear old people talk about how much cheaper things used to be, and then you look at current prices and start doing your mental math, and you don't even want to do that. People my age are already wondering how people are supposed to afford housing, save money, and have a social life, and build a future all at once. And I think that's why these conversations resonate with so many people online. It's not just outrage content, it's genuine anxiety about what adulthood is gonna look like. Because nobody expects life to be easy, but a lot of people expected it to feel at least somewhat attainable.